So people use this kind of lingo and all kinds of things, right? So, you beef up.
Oh, mind me. Oh, who? It's like one of those. What's up, guys? It's like like one of those stupid videos where they're like they don't know, like they pretend like they don't know every film. Like, oh, hello. Anyway, what's up, guys? So, a little bit of a later night. Better than nothing. I was doing a Twitter Spaces with because Bitcoin earlier, and eating a pear. Did a hard workout earlier, so now is finally the time to do the live stream. Didn't want to leave you guys hanging today, so a couple of things I want to talk about with you guys. Let's just move this over. That channel is pretty good. He kind of made himself look like the MIT one, the MIT guy. I was an MIT neurosurgeon because they're both Asian, so it kind of it looks like it could be the other guy. Kind of looks like that other guy almost. So even sounds like that other guy a little bit. Not being prejudiced, they actually do. I'm just saying, do look a little bit like one another and sound a little bit like one another. Really smart guy. Both of them are really smart. This guy I like better, I think. I haven't watched the other one much, but that I was an MIT neurosurgeon, then he quit because it was dumb or whatever, and most of the time, the people don't actually need surgery. That's kind of what I'm saying. I'm oversimplifying it. It's a good pair. Fruit is good, man. Once in a while. But yeah, what's up, Bigger? Sorry if this is boring for you guys, but anyway, I think ETH is still kind of starting to fight back against Bitcoin, as you can see in the thumbnail. Hope you guys enjoyed the thumbnail. So, trend reversal there. I was on because of Bitcoin with I forget his name. I'm not gonna say who he was, but there's still some people who are pretty bearish on Bitcoin on ETH valuation. I mean, even Ben Cowan, who's been bearish for a long time, I think thinks that, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but even he's kind of said that it could have bottomed out here. And I think that's kind of, higher low it would make sense. I'm not saying you can't go lower or something. A monetary policy may tell you that, but if I had to guess here, I was looking at others versus Bitcoin too. That bull div is good. What you saw in 2024, you saw the first rate cut was in September of 24, I believe. Yeah, I'm 99% sure it had to be. And then, you had a jump for others versus Bitcoin. I would say probably the worst possible case scenario. Well, anything can happen, but if you see the rate cut, which is favored right now for September, it could be earlier. I know some people that do think it could be earlier, quite frankly. I don't know. It's hard to really say. I want to actually just wanted to check something here. So I know some people would so I know a lot of people, they've said that, it could be earlier. I made my mic a little louder. I know some people have said it was quiet over the decades that I've been doing this now. Not that long. But anyway, man. So then a potential jump up a little bit more here. And, that'd probably be kind of our worst state thing. But if you do bottom here, which I think there's a damn good shot, into August, September, say you look something like that, and you get that other jump, this would probably, you should be able to get something here. 100%, your average all outperforms Bitcoin by 100%. Very mediocre compared to previous, areas. If you look at where this blue line is, it would be that bottom right there. We made a lower low. You could argue that was, mainly because of tariffs. Maybe you fit that, and then we finally get our, typical all season. I thought I saw something moving on the ground near me. Jeez, it was just my shoe. That's weird. Give me you get that little scared. But anyway. What's up, guys? Yeah. Let's move this up a little bit so you guys can see the Ethereum trade that I'm still in. And I think that, I was looking at this too. if you can get above 3,000, really break above, that 3,000, maybe 3,100, depending on when you hit it, then you got to target all the way theoretically at 6,000, which would be really good. I think you got a good shot at that. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. you know. What's up, the Supra? So yeah, that's ultimately, kind of what we're looking at right there. I mean, potentially breaking out farther. And I mean, you got your trigger waves and such. Trigger wave right there, 22. That was a big jump. It's probably not going to be that incredible. I mean, that was a damn good jump. What was that? 50%. But I mean, can you get, I don't know, a quarter of that or something? I mean, 20% maybe, getting up to 3,100 or something end of the month, next 10 days. I hope so. It'd be pretty damn good. I think people are still generally asleep, and if you break above there, get 3,900. So, yeah. There, reversing. So a continuation. I think there's potential continuation. And then S&P 500. I mean, generally, we talked about that weekly. Oh, this just came up. Weekly trend reversal. I mean, these were all bearish kind of in 2022, but generally they're more bullish than bearish. I mean, you're going back to 2015. They don't happen too often. I mean, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. More likely than not, you should. I mean, unless you think there's a recession or something, you should keep going. Yeah, 700. I mean, well, where would, okay, so let's look at our S&P 500. Let's look at our little S&P 500. So, where does, the next significant point, yeah, 700. I mean, do you bounce up to 700 by the end of the year? We would hope so, for the sake of, crypto and all that, especially altcoins. I mean, what percentage is that? So about 17%. And that'd be your typical year. I mean, you kind of open the year around, let's just say around here, I don't know, 594. Yeah, so then you would get about a 16, 15. If you were to get a 10%, it would be, 660. So I think those are good goals. I mean, I think high sixes would be a pretty good goal for S&P 500 into the end of the year. That should be enough to theoretically get Bitcoin up to, 150K. Is that, I mean, ETH would be slightly less correlated with the S&P 500, or quite a bit less correlated, I guess, but still, I mean, that would probably be enough for a new all-time high, at least, I would think, I would hope, depending on what we do, between now and the next month. I mean, I would say, man, I mean, it could go all the way up to 4K, 3,800, 4K by the end of June. It's possible. I don't know if it's the most likely scenario, but definitely possible. But getting up to 3,200, I think that's a good goal, damn good goal. Very likely, I think. What's up, James? What time is it in Bangkok right now? 10. I would guess 10:30 a.m., 9:30 a.m. I don't know. What time is it at right now? In this day and age, it's so easy to Google things, but so there's still something about talking, just for the conversation. You know what I mean? So yeah. We got the Golden Cross. I mean, I'm not somebody who looks at that too much, but we do have the Golden Cross, coming up on Bitcoin. And oh man, I mean, I forget does anybody know? Like, what time frame and what EMAs or MAs, excuse me, do I have to look out to find the Just curious about your 200. Oh, that would be interesting. 200 moving average. So, because I haven't looked at that in a minute. I'm just, if you were to, just guesstimate, where this would end up, you know, into 2026, that would be, that would be November. I'm just thinking if you're looking at a bear market bottom, 65. But if you were to do this situation and come lower as you did, I mean, you kind of really, people were talking about when you hit that was the bottom, that 22K. But no, not exactly. I mean, you still came down, another 30%, which is not terrible. Definitely not, for Bitcoin, not the worst thing. But, and then if you came down to that area, it could be a little bit, like that. So just curious about your 300. Let's actually edit that. Let's look at our 300. So if we want to look at our 300 here, and that was more of a better indication. I mean, you could even count that this was kind of, it shouldn't have really gone, under that or even hit that. It was kind of more of a 200 moving average, other than FTX. And then if you're looking at where this, if you followed kind of, well, that'd actually be wow. Where you'd be up pretty high. And I don't think, because if price goes down, then you'd be looking more at, if you see a typical bear market year. That would be interesting, because that's the big point, I think, is like that 48K. And I mean, we're just guesstimating. I don't know where, I don't know where the hell, this would exactly, what this exactly would look like. No one does. But, if you were to see a bear market bottom in 2026, I would kind of guess it would be around that high 40s, low 50s, if history is any indication, as Ben Cowan would say, or, a lot of original phrases there. Dubious speculation, a lot of good phrases that, we all wish we could have came up with, but we didn't. So, yeah. And let's see, 11 p.m. Orlando. Okay. That's not what I asked, but I'm just kidding. You're ahead. Yeah, Mexico stopped daylight savings time. 10:30 a.m. Okay. Yeah, so if you're 10:30 a.m. So, yeah, it's probably like, I mean, I don't know what you do, James. Like if you trade, I don't know what you do, but it does get a little bit when you're living in Bangkok. I mean, I love the place, great place, but yeah, it does. If you're on more of a, it was scheduling and stuff, it does get a little bit tricky, because everybody's awake while you're asleep. Everybody's in the main part of their thing. Let's see, Singapore is 11:30 a.m. So yeah, Bangkok is an hour before Singapore. Cool. Probably got more of the, because you guys are all asleep in Asia, when I'm live streaming, or Ondo and Pepe. Let's take a look at Ondo and Pepe. Let's take a look at those. So let's see. Ondo, I think, should be able to, that's an interesting thing. We compare it kind of to last year a little bit. And I mean, you saw the cuts there, the first rate cut there. It was a pretty big rate cut, 50 basis points. If you were to do something like that, and that was a peak in December, it could look a damn lot like freaking, if you're kind of just choppy. And you could be choppy for a minute, but I would think more bullish before choppy. If you're like that, then I mean, yeah, you could do. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if Ondo is going to do what we want it to do, but I could see us getting, 5x. Let's see, why not? Let's see, Pepe. Yeah, so I'm optimistic on Ondo. Pepe, I mean, that's the thing there. I mean, unless you think it's going to do better than this, I think you made that lower low. It's not the best thing. I mean, from where you are, it could make higher than these levels. I mean, into end of year, it's hard to say, man. You can't even say the damn price. It's so weird, but you can get 200-300%. I don't see why you can't. Let's see. What's up, M-Ice? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Um, oh, yeah, Bangkok's always pretty. Well, you're in May. Oh, that's the hot season. So is it, James? Is it raining in Bangkok yet? When does it start raining? June, probably. I was there during the hot season, man. It's hot. I would say, yeah, Singapore felt a bit cooler. Singapore did feel a bit cooler. Bangkok in the hot season because it's really hot. I forget when exactly. When is that real hot season? March. It's probably like March, April, May. I'm trying to think because I was there like March or no, yeah, I was there February and yeah, February, March, May. May could be the worst if you're not getting rain yet. I was there in September. Not a lot of rain, cloudy, not as bad. But yeah, property okay. Wow, more dollar cost. Nice, nice. Bangkok is a place, man. I mean, there's just so much there. It's crazy. I mean, I've heard it's a lot different too than it was, 20 years ago. Now more like you'd have to go somewhere more like Ho Chi Minh or like even Laos, Cambodia for it to be more like how Bangkok was. It's definitely changed. It changed a lot. I mean, developed a lot more. Singapore, I like. I mean, Asia is awesome, man. I mean, you really, Kuala Lumpur, I really liked. Singapore is cool. I mean, Singapore, I don't know if I'd want to live in Singapore. That's an expensive place. I mean, kind of, I would have to be, probably would rather live there than Miami, but, I don't know. Kind of, you think if you're spending that much money, you might as well just live in Miami. Let's see. All meme coins didn't want to include themselves alongside Pepe. Yeah, I guess. Let's see. April, June. Avoid the heat. So that's the hot seat, okay. The humid, I mean, yeah, it's always, yeah. I mean, where I am, I don't think I don't know if it's much worse in Bangkok than it would be where I am right now. I mean, nah, I've never been to Japan. No, not yet. Southern Europe and Malaysia, the big differences there. I mean, Spain and Portugal would be the ones that a lot of people like in, Southern Europe. I'd probably rather do Malaysia though, but I mean, I haven't been to Spain in a while. Mudang. Funny story about Mudang. I almost saw Mudang. Superb sanity. Singapore is not. I don't think Singapore is. Singapore and Malaysia, like if you guys, or at least Singapore and Kuala Lumpur, if you guys are not familiar, like they don't really have like a hot or like they don't really have a, let's say sunny wet and dry season. There's always a little bit of cloudiness and a little bit of rain here and there, so it's like it's not that bad. Like the cloudiness makes it a lot less bad from my experience. And in Singapore, you're closer to the water too. I think Kuala Lumpur is considered a little bit warmer. Yeah, that would be a little bit warmer in Singapore. I mean, you're right on the equator. If you guys are not familiar, like those places are right on the damn equator. I mean, it gets dark and light it gets light at 7 a.m. and dark at 7 p.m. every day. I think. I think they're they're in the same time zone, right? Singapore and Kuala Lumpur. I think they are. Let's see. Yeah, to buy a foreign car there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean Bangkok's always, yeah. I mean that's probably I mean, there's only a few other cities like that in the world. I mean, New York City, I mean, I'm trying to think if there's, and that would be the only one in America. I mean, London. I'm trying to think of any other. London would probably be the only one in Europe. There's probably only one on every continent. I mean, I'm thinking Latin America, maybe Mexico City, maybe. Asia, I mean, there's probably a few in Asia, but it's probably mainly Bangkok. Yeah. Singapore, I mean, Singapore is probably just as bad as Bangkok. I feel like Bangkok felt worse. Like Bangkok is really hot. But then once you get the rain, it's not as, but it's still, I mean, you gotta like the tropics to like living in Bangkok, I would think, or like the real warm weather. I mean, there's negatives to it. Where I am, it's hot as hell. I mean, I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's the most accurate like interpretation of how it feels, but if we look at the weather app here, I mean, where I am, east coast of Mexico, I mean, okay, it's 81 degrees right now. And it gets up to about 90 every day, and it's pretty much still just sunny, no rain. Let's look at, I'm sure I got Bangkok on here somewhere. Oh yeah, Bangkok's a little bit worried, but you're starting to get rain, man. Yeah, it gets up to 94 during the day. Damn, yeah, that's hot. So you're a little bit warmer there. But Kuala Lumpur, it only gets up to like, 91. That's not as bad. Yeah, that's definitely not as bad. Chiang Mai was 93. I feel like that feels a little cooler, especially at night. Chiang Mai was pretty good. I haven't been there in a long time, but Chiang Mai was pretty nice. How about West Coast of Mexico? Yeah, West Coast of Mexico is a little bit cooler. Buenos Aires, just looking at the 60s now, so you're getting into winter there. Medellin is always, that's one of the best climates, yeah. But yeah, I'm looking at if I have any other. Yeah, I mean, most of Southeast Asia is when it gets like really hot. Yeah. Anyway. Phnom Penh. I've been to Siem Reap. Phnom Penh. Yeah, I mean, it depends what you're into. Yeah. I mean, Kuala Lumpur. I mean, I think Singapore there's probably more to do, but I mean, you definitely want to go to both, I would say. Yeah, I was thinking that's considered really Singapore's the richest country, I think. I mean, Monaco technically, but that's a tiny little freaking. And Singapore's the yeah. Pollution is there interesting. You would think there's less pollution in Chiang Mai than Bangkok. That's weird. That's very. I do remember, yeah, my sinuses were bad in Chiang Mai. I do remember having sinus issues there. I don't think I had sinus issues in Bangkok. Maybe I did, though. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. But that was the first time I was in Thailand. It was some years ago. But no, I have had sinus issues a little bit in Bangkok. Not terrible, though. Like, I went away. Hong Kong, what's changed? Oh, so Chiang Mai's worse? Okay. Hong Kong, I've heard, I may hit Hong Kong. There's a conference a Bitcoin conference in Hong Kong at the end of August, so I may hit that if I go back to Asia, and I kind of want to go back to Asia, so yeah. Phnom Penh, I haven't heard much about. The shoulder's a little bit better. Thanks for asking. Appreciate you. A little bit better. It's still suck forward more. Sometimes you get that ulnar nerve gets pinched, but been working on it. It's like from the things, here wants to activate, but back here should activate. It's a complicated situation, but it is. It'll be all right. Definitely made some major improvements with the shoulder over the last last few months. So yeah. But there's still more to go. I mean, I don't know. I have ChatGPT kind of help me with it, and he keeps kind of telling me, you got 2 to 4 more weeks more, something 4 to 6 more. He keeps telling me like every week, 3 to 6 more. Yeah, that's it. So yeah. Now China's got Hong Kong. But they kind of got still some of their own, some of their own like laws and stuff. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Undefeated 0-0, like that one. I like that. Anyway, guys, if you're interested in trading, check out the pin chat. Link to BloFin, 10% off your fees for life. Also, BYDFI is great as well, 10% off your fees for life as well. They're doing a new giveaway with BloFin, so check that out if you guys are interested. Oh, yeah. Bitcoin conference, too. They did raise prices, but if you want to get a ticket, you can still get 10% off with my link. That's going to be down below in the description. Whale passes are sold out, so yeah. But yeah, BYDFI, 15% on their first deposit. And this is based on trading. Okay. So yeah, you get the 10% cash back, 3K futures bonus, plus for trading volumes, you get these nice bonuses. You can withdraw the money. They're not actually going to send you a Rolex. I think you could just, if I'm not mistaken, they give you the money and you could either trade with it or withdraw it. So yeah. Is okay. So is my trading course good for a 15-year-old? Oh man. I mean, it's like it's kind of it's a tough question. It's like, does your 15-year-old like want to trade? Do they have a passion for it? You know, is that like, you know, it really depends. You know, I mean, it's not like I don't know. Is that too young to be getting into? I don't know. It's a good damn question. I mean, you know, I think it would be. You know, I think it's definitely a good start. You know, I think the person has to kind of wants to know a little bit about trading before, has to have an interest in it, has to actually know about this stuff a little bit. But yeah, you know, I think what Undefeated said. So yeah, I think it's a good start. I also think that, you know, watching the streams and you know, other things are good too. But I think the trading course has a lot of good, you know, strategies and things like that. So yeah. So yeah, I think it's pretty good, but it really depends on the person. So yeah. So yeah. That trigger wave looks good in ETH versus Bitcoin. I think that's going to play out well. That's the thing too. Like, I mean, you kind of broke above that area. And theoretically, you could be I mean, once you get back, if we want to be really liberal with this projection here, once you get back up to like, you know, 0.03 or this area, then you've erased a hell of a lot of pain there, you know. And it wouldn't be completely surprising to see it. I think ETH's a pretty good buy, yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. Some people are saying, you know, we'll see what happens here. I mean, there's people saying it's a relic, you know, saying it's going to come back down, but we'll see. You know, we'll see. That's the thing. Certain places like Bali in here, a lot of mosquitoes. You know, they get inside. You know, that's the worst. Like when you're trying to sleep and you hear it buzzing by your ears, and there's not really much. You know, you try to swat it, but you know, and they keep going. You know, they don't give up sometimes. It is what it is. So anyway, yeah, I mean, this is trying to XRP. I mean, I think it'll keep coming up. Yeah, generally it looks pretty good in the 8 hour. Yeah, I think it'll do well. Trump coin. Yeah, let's look at it. Sure. I think Solana is going to jump up a bit more here. I think it should jump up. You got the trigger waves and such, you know. That would be the bear case in the 3-day. I think it should continue with the market. I mean, that's the thing. Like, even... Oh, yeah, I forgot to look at Mudang, but, like, if you just take the... Yeah, I mean, even a conservative, you know, estimate here, I mean, we could be really, you know, if we want to be more... I think it should jump. I don't know if you're ever going to get back up to these areas, but maybe 30 to 40 bucks at some point. Yeah, always appreciate you guys smashing the like button. Cancel. Yeah, I mean, I think there's enough stuff going on with Ethereum. You know, I think we're okay. There were, I mean, I know people have been talking about like bigger players have been dumping ETH. I don't know if that's the biggest like problem right now. I think bigger players will start to buy it more too. Kita, yeah, it's a new one. It's hard to say with some of the new ones. I mean, I don't, you know, I mean, the TA doesn't tell you too much here, but like big points could be $1.50 if it keeps jumping, you know. If Sol Bitcoin versus... Okay, so if Sol starts to outperform Bitcoin... Yeah, I mean, what is... It'll jump up, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, the more of the question is, can Sol outperform? Yeah, 50% upper. I think Sol can jump quite a bit. I mean, yeah, you know, there's volatility here. I mean, if it could jump, you know, Bitcoin to 120 and this to 268. I mean, you could get some excitement. So yeah, I mean, a lot of the alts can outperform Bitcoin from now into the end of the year. I don't know if they will, but they can. So yeah. I've heard good things about Arbitrum recently. I'm not the biggest expert on the coin, but I do think, you know, we want to jump back about 47 cents and get up higher. So there could be potential. There's been a lot of good things behind this the whole time, theoretically. That don't always mean it does well, as you can see here. I mean, even if you got in, you know, say you got in at these places, just want to see how down you are. Yeah, you got about half, you know, a little less than half your money. Not the worst, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Arbitrum's, yeah, I mean, I think it should do well. I don't know if the charts are the best thing on that, but we'll see. Uniswap's interesting. Yeah, you're at the same price, May of 22, yeah. I feel like this could fight back a bit. Could be completely wrong though, but I think this may fight back. At least back up to like that 19 bucks at some point, hopefully this year. I was looking at Apecoin, as always, you know, 65 cents. So some consolidation. I mean, I think at $1, you're kind of back in business here. I mean, you got Ape Fest in Vegas at what, end of October or something. So I don't know if I'm gonna be going to that, but but you know, yeah. What's up, Jay? Been a minute. Hope you're doing well, Jay. So yeah, Jay, you've been around for many years, many years. It's crazy. Really appreciate you guys. It's getting close to 11 p.m. I may get going a little bit, go to sleep. Did a hard workout earlier, really taxing workout. And yeah, your sleep's always important. So, what'd you buy at $4? Arbitrum? Was it? Did you buy Arbitrum or Apecoin at $4? Hope it was Arbitrum. Well, it depends what. If your NFT, has been at zero for the past few years, probably not. Ape like big boy NFTs, I think they could do some things. Actually, want to watch that video after. Big boy. I mean, CryptoPunk. Yeah, apes, Pudgy. I think there's potential here. This is the one I've been looking at for a while, and it hasn't done much for a while. But I mean, I would think you could repeat something like that at least. I'm planning on probably selling it at the end of the year, or if you can get up to like 10 ETH. I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to get, at this point, you'd really need a lot of goddamn momentum to get you back to 40 ETH. But, 10, 12 ETH, I'll take it. 10, 12 ETH, got a 5x from here in ETH value. I think that's doable. You were up to 3 there. And to 23 at a little bit. That was just, if you look at 23 for this year, this was just, the big place of, support and resistance would be like $10, so, or 10 ETH, excuse me. So, yeah. But for obvious reasons, JPEG, it's just freaking JPEGs. There's obviously obvious flaws. I'm in, so Zach the Trader, I've been digital nomading a bit. I'm deciding where I want to, set up more of a base, an international base or something, but I am in Mexico right now. So yeah, I'm not in Florida. I may eventually, I think ideally, you kind of want to be, maybe I'll have a place in Asia and a place in Latin America, and then, you still go to Florida or America for a couple months of the year. Something like that, kind of trifecta method by Andrew Heders at Nomad Capitalist. I think it's a good thing to kind of strive for. We'll see what happens. Do I think ETH makes new all-time highs? I think there's a decent shot. How's Mexico? I like it. East coast of Mexico right now, a lot of seaweed, very hot. I think the west coast of Mexico overall maybe a little bit better than the east coast. Like anything else, depends what you're into. There are differences, but yeah. Somewhere robots deliver food. Well, that's Miami, believe it or not. That's actually been happening for Brickell, Miami, downtown too, I think. Yeah. It's been happening for a few years now with that little robot drives around, delivers food. So, yeah, if you guys saw my Twitter post, I know who didn't like it. Somebody didn't like it, but and I get what you're getting at. With some of these, yeah, too much sun getting them. I don't really too much inside. You mean? But yeah, no, I get it is a little far-fetched. CVO liked it. I got some of these ideas from him. Give him credit for that. And yeah, there's some truth in that, Johnny Hash. So it's yeah, there's some truth in that. I'm not gonna. Yeah, it could be. That's what I was saying. I'm just curious. I'm always curious about other people's views. Always curious about other views. It's interesting. drone. Hopefully things don't get too bad, but I would think there's more of the. That's the big thing too. A lot of people don't know about it, but Ozempic's kind of the biggest medical breakthrough in a long time, really since antibiotics in a lot of ways. And I think you bring down obesity you get obesity down to almost zero, like your life expectancy is going to shoot up 10 years easily, I think. And then, 2050s, 2060s, I think cancer is probably going to be at the best. So your life expectancy is probably 100 plus overall, by that period. So, I mean, if you're like me, I'm 28 years old. If you can make it, until 2060, let's say, you got to make it until 63 years old, which is, not statistically, it shouldn't be that difficult. Then you may, you get a good shot of living at over 100. So yeah, half robot, half human, but like Darth Vader. So yeah, I mean that's what it is. But yeah, there's some interesting things there. I mean, if you're thinking, and you looked at, some people looked at, it could be 200-year theory because, well, not really. It could skip 1820 didn't really have a pandemic. Not everything is going to be like that, but some things will be similar, up to 100. I would think in all likelihood, if you're in your 20s right now, you statistically, you probably would live till 100. Maybe even more. I mean, it could get crazy. We'll see what the hell happens. But yeah, it gets scary when you look at some of the AI stuff because when you get into universal basic income, then it kind of gets, there's not going to be much meaning. Everyone's going to be at the same thing. But there's other meaningful things you'll find to do with your life. So I don't think it's going to be that bad. There's probably going to be a lot of cures for depression and other things too as you kind of get into that. So yeah, keep an optimistic view. Anyway, guys, I think I'm probably gonna get going. If you guys want a really good offer with with BloFin right here, pin chat. You get the up to 3K futures bonus. To your first deposit, 10%, up to 3K. 10% of your fees for life, as you can see right here. And then out of trading volume, 1 mil gets you $100 futures bonus. You have to trade a lot, but still, you get these nice bonuses. So check it out. And don't forget, guys, if you sign up to BloFin at any exchanges down below or buy Bitcoin conference ticket, give you 1 free month in the Aldo Empire VIP Discord. Just open support ticket with your UYD. You can go to the support ticket area and do that. Helps to pay in crypto. Make sure if you pay in crypto, it needs to be ERC20. Needs to be ERC20 as it says here. ERC20. Maybe I should change that to make it say only because somebody messed that up. So yeah. Anyway, really appreciate you guys. And yeah, hey guys, smash the like button.